All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakah, Quadash, the monster apostles of GMS, and sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and sincerity. Um, I'm probably make this as short as possible, but just to get into the most points. But as this is the most recent as of August 5th, it says must see British people scared for their lives. They want all black people out of that country. Now, for a little bit of context before I go into this video or before I let the video play, this isn't specifically talking about black people. It's also talking about the quote unquote immigrants there because there was a stabbing, which I will play in the next clip. But they talking about pretty much getting anybody that's not white out of there, right? So I done a little bit of digging myself. So this is why I know a little bit of what's going on, or for the most part, what's going on. Who knows? They might reveal some other stuff that adds to it, but for the most part, this is basically the quote unquote racism popping back up, and people acting like this is something new when in reality, racism never goes anywhere. Just like here, racism never goes anywhere. The racist people here wants how things were back then to be like it is today, or yeah, basically that. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip real quick.
Them hotels, get them gone. Put them on boats and send them back. Okay? They shouldn't be here. Get them out of them hotels.
Let me tell you, dirty, dingy, dusty, racist prick Sutton, yeah? You want to start racist riots around the UK, but you don't know your fucking history. Well, I'm here to give you a history lesson. The reason why immigrants came to this dusty, dingy fucking country is because half of your men were wiped out by World War fucking II. They didn't do it because they wanted equality. They didn't do it because they wanted diversity. They wanted black people to come over to this country and rebuild it again. And you want to know the real reason why you won World War II? It's because India, yeah? India sent around 1.2 million Indians to come and fight the fucking fight because they were part of the Commonwealth, you understand? So if you knew your fucking history, you wouldn't be going after immigrants so fucking hard.
Now I'm gonna stop it there and probably fast forward a little bit more, because the whole part of the immigration that's there in the UK is, uh, it's like is quote unquote blacks, Indians, and I think primarily Muslims. Which, if you go back in history, you had, well, going back into history, you had us in rulership anyways over there because originally that land was Japhets, which would be your Hawaiians and your Samoans, and I think another one. But fast forward, we got rulership. By the time it was near ending, we was near the end of it. Um, Going to the auto da fe where it was basically Christians basically coming basically against us, and it was black primarily Jakes and Muslims, which a lot of the Muslims there was not what you think would be the Arabs. It was some of them there, but it was us converting over to the whole Muslim thing, right? So that goes to show you the whole immigration thing was nothing new. They just had more people over, as she mentions, from World War II, but this just adds on to it. Now I'm gonna fast forward to one part, and then I'm gonna show the next clip, and then we're gonna go straight into the scriptures. Let me see. There we go.
They come over here, they're up to no good.
I'm talking about racist white people. And if you feel offended by this video, then it's you and me at talk talk.
These bloody immigrants, they come over here, they're up to no good, right? I hate these bloody immigrants, they need to go back to where they came from. But why do you hate them so much? I'll tell you why I hate them. Tell you why, right? Because they're not even trying to be British. That's why. They're not even trying to be British, right? They come here, they bring their own bloody culture, right? They bring their own food, speak their own bloody languages, try to take over the whole bloody place. That sounds British to me.
And just like with the whole thing with America, that is why America and UK is pretty much hand in hand with this, because America goes around enforce their laws, their languages on other people. Look at Africa; they speak French. They're not even speaking the language them Hamites was originally speaking. So that tells you something, right? So I'm gonna play this little clip right here. This goes in.
Suspect is
This goes into what's currently happening to explain the whole thing.
Tonight, violence and vitriol on the streets of the United Kingdom, targeting migrants and mosques in an ugly eruption of the anti-immigrant sentiment. For more than a week, riots breaking out in city after city, cars torched in northeast England, fires raging in Belfast in Northern Ireland. This hotel, used to house asylum seekers, set ablaze. More than 400 arrests so far, including nearly 150 just this weekend. Police warning the number will rise.
I can confirm today we have seen at least 12 of our officers injured, with items such as brick fence posts, branches, and other missiles thrown at them.
Authorities blaming much of the violence on far-right extremist groups, some with neo-Nazi ties. Prime Minister Keir Starmer on the job only a month, vowing to deploy the full force of the law.
Whatever the apparent motivation, this is not protest. It is pure violence, and we will not tolerate attacks on mosques or our Muslim communities.
Communities now living in fear.
Muslim people, we're not terrorists. That's how I feel like. I feel like we're being threatened. It's not safe.
Amid the chaos, counter-protesters pushing back. Why is this happening? The immediate trigger, the murder last week of 3 young girls in a horrific stabbing spree. In the hours after, far-right provocateurs posted disinformation on social media, claiming the suspect was an immigrant in the UK illegally. It went viral, but it wasn't true. Authorities say the suspect is a 17-year-old born in the UK.
Social media clearly.
So even with that, it said if they was going to target the Muslims, they targeting all the immigrants, which including black people. So they trying to get everybody out there. That's what they were saying. If you ain't white, get out. When in reality, we was there before them, but even Jaffa was there before us. So they go to show you that Esau just steals whatever he wants and will make it seem like everything is his. Same thing here. This place in America is no different, right? So this is Psalms 137:7. It says, "Remember, O Lord, let me start over. It says, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, which means burn it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones." So even with all that, this is Esau's natural what's the word I want to say? Not natural emotions, just his natural being to want to pretty much get rid of us. That's why if the Lord wasn't on our side, we'd be pretty much wiped out before even getting over here because of the things he's done. That's why he has a hard time pretty much depopulating us, trying to feed us all sorts of messed up foods and all this other stuff because he can't get rid of us. We make great slaves for them because that's what the whole good ships come into play. But with how things are now, he's he's basically ready to try to get rid of us, but it's not going to work. But he wants the whole foundation gone. Why? Because he knows who we are. That's the main thing about it. He knows who we are. That fear is still in Esau to know that we got to get rid of these people somehow, but we can't. But even to the lower class Edomites, let me start with them, because they're here in regeneration. They are doing the same thing as they did back then. Racism never goes anywhere, if that's what they want to call this. They just being the natural enemy they are. That's all it is. They just being the natural enemy. See, this is what's meant to happen until the Lord comes back and puts us in rulership. Because what he's done to us, we're going to do righteously to him. And key words I said is righteously. Right? So, to respect the same thing that's going over there to happen over here. We are, as far as in Babylon right now, in America, there's been plenty of riots from all sorts of things, ranging from something that makes sense to something that's just really dumb. But it will go back to race wars, where them Edomites is going to raise up. They're going to raise up them horns, and the friend that you knew next door was your enemy the entire time. Especially when it comes to the dollar, the collapse of the dollar. Everybody's friendly when it comes to money, but when there's nothing there, you see the other side. All right. So I wanted to look into something, basically, because in the title they talked about far right, and I wanted to go into this because here in this place they'll talk about the leftists, which I will explain in a second. So the difference between the leftists and the rights, which they call generally the left wing and the right wing, but it says generally the left wing is characterized by an emphasis on ideas such as freedom, equality, fraternity, rights, progress, reform, and internationalism. Sounds a lot like this place, especially when it comes to, how should I say, the alphabet groups, the rights for quote unquote certain people, and that's where here is freedom, which goes into your liberty, which goes into sexual freedom to basically do whatever you want. Then you move to right wing, which is what they was calling them in the video, which was far right, is notions such as authority, hierarchy, order, duty, tradition, reaction, and nationalism. Now, when you basically pair all those together, that just means they basically want things how they wanted to be, how it was back then when we was in slavery. They had control over us. They which they still basically do to this day, but they basically have us in chains and pretty much have things as they were before. These Edomites want the old ways back. That's why they saying give us back our country. They want us to go back to how things were back then. Just like some of the Edomites, or a lot of the Edomites here basically wants to do. Right? So yeah, they want that authority pretty much. So they want that authority pretty much over us, right? So this is Psalms 55:21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. So you have you can only imagine what these people were saying back then before they started rioting about we want our country back. They probably smiled in front of all these people's faces like, I secretly hate that N word. And you're gonna start seeing that on the high rise now, because the racism, as they call it, is not really being hidden as much now. So you're gonna start seeing all out brawls, all out fights. You're gonna start seeing America look like the UK, or UK start looking like this place. They both hand in hand. The point still remains is that civil war, that race wars, everybody gonna go nuts, especially when things start really hitting the fan. They're gonna find a reason to blame somebody for something, just like they're gonna find a reason to blame us for being out there reading the Bible, because we're a threat spiritually to these people and to these rats, right? This is Psalm 34 and 21. It says, the wicked, oh, sorry, it says, evil shall slay the wicked, and they shall hate the righteous. Sorry, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. Which is funny, because now we're going to read this up here that says the message. It says, the wicked commit slow suicide. They waste their lives hating the good. And, well, yeah, you could say that too. Because you will actually see these people, even our wicked people, fighting up against Esau, raising up against them. Meanwhile, they still coming at us because we're telling them the answer, but they can't receive it. Naturally so. So, what do? We sit back and let them do their thing while we do our thing. Because best believe they're gonna start trying to do. We're not only gonna have our own people turn up against us. We're gonna start seeing more Edomites turn up against us. Right now, they're just playing it cool because guess what? They still find their hope in this society that they're gonna make it great again, as they say. But we know the outcome. So that's all I wanted to go into that. So Lord willing, this is edifying. And with that, shalom.